The previous video was an example of what not to do during an emergency. You should have a disaster supply kit prepared before an emergency occurs. Grabbing random things and panicking is not the correct thing to do. Grabbing random things like a plastic bag or a blow dryer is also not the correct thing to do. Let's take a look at what might have gone differently if the person was more prepared. Have you ever lost power or been unable to travel on roads due to the weather being too bad? This is where a disaster supply kit comes in. A disaster supply kit is used to keep you and your family safe before, during, and after a disaster occurs. Stores may be closed, roads may be too dangerous to travel on, and power may even be out. This kit is designed to keep you and your family safe during these types of situations.
In our disaster supply kit, we want to have at least 3 days worth of items to sustain us during an emergency. We also want to store the disaster supply kit in a location that is dry, safe, secure, and easily accessible during a disaster. Basically, we want to know where to find it when a disaster occurs. Starting off with immediate needs, we need a first aid kit. This could include a tourniquet to stop the bleeding. It might include a kit such as this that has Band-Aids, non-latex gloves, and a compression bandages which you wrap around your arms or legs to stop the bleeding. There's also bleed stop, and a scissors if you need to cut any of these. During this type of a disaster situation, the power might be out, so we need a flashlight to be able to see these items and other obstacles and people around us. It could be cold, so we also want an emergency blanket. This will be useful in preventing hypothermia. Depending on what we're doing, we might need something to write with and something to write on. This will help us pass any type of information we need to or record what is happening. We might also need a permanent marker to label items. I can't write on plastic such as this with a pen, so I have a permanent marker to do this. I don't know what my environment will be, so I have work gloves in case I need to work on something, pick something heavy up. These also are pretty warm, so if your hands are cold, you can use these as well. Depending on the situation, we will need these moist towelettes or sanitary wipes. These can help us wipe down items, wipe our hands, clean things off if we don't have running water. If we're in a location where there's not a garbage can, we want these plastic garbage bags to throw our garbage away, or if we are stuck sheltering in place, we can use these garbage bags with duct tape to cover up vents and windows to prevent air from getting into the house. We also want extra batteries for our electronic items, such as our flashlights or any other type of items that we have with us. We want to put these in a waterproof bag so that they don't get damaged. Wet batteries will not work. So we want our batteries to stay dry, and we do that by putting them in this type of plastic bag. We also want to put any fire starting materials in a plastic bag as well. We want to include ropes or something to help us tie down materials with. This will be useful for securing any other types of items that we need to. If it's wet, if it's raining, we want to have a dry bag with us to put some of these larger items in that might be damaged if it gets wet. So we can quickly take this dry bag out, put the items in, and then they're safe and secure. We also don't know what type of situation we might be going into. There could be a lot of dust and flying particles around us, so we want this dust mask so we can breathe. We also want a hygiene kit. So we want to be able to brush our teeth and have soap to wash ourselves off. And something that I've added to this based on my personal needs, I have extra glasses. So I don't have to worry about if where are my glasses? I don't know where my contacts are. These will be good, and I don't have to worry about finding all the items. They're together here. For food and water, we want 1 gallon of water per person per day. They could be in gallon jugs like this, or items that are harder plastic and more durable, but the goal is to have 1 gallon of water per person per day. We also want enough food. We don't want perishable items that will go bad quickly, such as fruits and vegetables. If we put them in here, they might mold, such as bread. So we want something like this. These are emergency food ration bars. They're vacuum sealed, and these ones will have a 5-year shelf life. They will last 5 years. We can also throw in items such as protein bars that won't go bad if they're left in the car if it's too hot outside. Also, canned items last a lot longer than the other items such as fresh fruit. So I want to include canned items. And if we do include canned items, we need a can opener so that we can open it up. And in addition to that, we want utensils. We want to be able to eat whatever we have opened up. Depending on your family's needs, for example, if you have a dog, you want to pack 3 days worth of food for your dog. I've included on here when I put the food in the bag and how much I put in. My dog is growing, so in a year, I might want to go back and add more food to this if he needs it. Finally, we don't know how long we're going to be out. We don't know what kind of situation we'll be faced with. So we want an extra pair of clothes in case ours get dirty, wet, damaged. We want to put this in a bag that is waterproof so that we have dry clothes to put on. Also, we want to include chargers for our phones or extra battery packs so that if our phone dies, we're able to charge it and get in contact with those we need to. Remember, we want a 3-day worth supply of food. We want to maintain our items by checking old batteries, replacing water at least annually, checking the expiration dates of food, and making sure they are good. We want to test our electronic items to make sure the batteries still work, and evaluate our needs often. For example, if I need to add food, if my dog grows, or if my glasses prescription changed. If my eyes change, I might need to put different glasses in here. So, look at your family situation, see what your needs are, and go out and prepare a disaster supply kit.
Do you have a disaster supply kit? And do you want to keep you and your family safe during a disaster? I encourage you and your family to come together and build your very own supply kit. And if you have any other questions, please visit www.ready.gov.